Welcome to The Explainer. Our whole deal here is taking tricky subjects and turning them into blueprints you can actually use. And today, we are cracking the code on what is, let's be honest, one of the ACCA's absolute toughest papers, financial reporting. Let's kick things off with a number, a really important one. This right here, this is the global pass rate for the financial reporting exam. Yep, it pretty much always hovers right around 50%. Think about that for a second. For every 2 people who sit this exam, only one of them is going to pass. Those are some tough odds. So the big question is, how do you make sure you're on the right side of that 50-50 split? Well, the secret isn't just about studying harder. It's about studying smarter. Look, this exam is a major hurdle, no doubt about it. But that's exactly why we're here. This explainer is going to be your strategic guide to clearing it. We're going to build that blueprint for success, piece by piece. All right, first things first, let's decode this exam blueprint. Because, hey, you can't win the game if you don't even know the rules, right? We've got to understand the challenge that's in front of us. Okay, so here's the breakdown. You've got a 3-hour paper split into 3 parts. Section A, that's your rapid fire round, 15 objective questions. Section B is kind of similar, but you get 3 little case studies, each with 5 objective questions. But then you get to Section C. And this, my friends, is the beast. Just 2 long questions, but they're worth a whopping 40% of your entire grade. This is where the exam is won or lost. Now, you look at this, and it seems like they've broken down this mountain of information into 5 neat little chunks, right? You've got everything from the conceptual framework all the way to the heavy-duty stuff like preparing financial statements. It seems so logical, so sequential, A to B to C. But here's the twist. Studying it in this order is actually a huge mistake. We'll get to why in just a bit. And underneath all of that, just a sea of international accounting and financial reporting standards. And look, it's not enough to just know what IFRS 15 is. You've got to be able to apply these things, like on the spot, under serious pressure. This is honestly where so many people get bogged down, just trying to memorize every single tiny detail. It's totally overwhelming. So when you're staring down the barrel of all that, you can't just open the book to page 1 and hope for the best. Nope. You need a real game plan, a strategy. Okay, and here it is. This is the secret sauce. The winning students, they don't study the syllabus in order. They actually flip it on its head. You start with the practical, hands-on stuff in Part B. You know, how to actually account for things like revenue or leases. Then, you take that knowledge and use it to build financial statements for single company in Part D. Then, you tackle the big one, consolidations in Part E. See what we're doing? We're building up the skills first. It really comes down to this. Build the skills, then learn the rules. It's like learning how to actually build a car before you study the theory of how it works. This way, you know you can do the accounting. You can secure those massive marks in Section C. And then, only then, do you go back and nail down the theory stuff from Part A. And hey, don't just take it from me. Listen to this advice from a student who's been there, done that. They're telling you straight up, focus on consolidations, single entity accounts, and ratio analysis. Why? Because those are the big Section C topics. These are the questions that can make or break your exam, so this is absolutely where you need to pour your energy. Right, consolidations. I know, this is a topic that freaks a lot of people out, but let's just strip it all back. All it really is taking a parent company and all the little companies it controls and just squishing all their financial statements together. You're just pretending they're one single giant economic entity. That's it. That's the core idea. And a huge part of consolidations is calculating this thing called goodwill. Again, don't get scared by the formula. The concept is actually super simple. Imagine you're buying a company. Goodwill is just the price you paid minus the actual value of everything it owns. Its buildings, its cash, all that stuff. So what's that extra bit you paid for? That's the goodwill. It's the price of their brand name, their reputation, all that good stuff. Now, this right here, this is such an important warning from a fellow student. It's so easy to get laser focused on consolidations because they're so big, but you can't get tunnel vision. This person focused only on consolidations and boom, the exam asked for a single entity. The examiner can and absolutely will throw you a curveball. You've got to be ready for anything. Balance is key. Okay, so you've done the work, you've got the strategy. Now let's talk about the big day. How do we make sure all that hard work actually pays off when the clock is ticking? I love this quote. Going without solving mocks is like a soldier without a weapon. It's so true. In those final weeks, mock exams are your best friend. Seriously, you have to do at least 2 or 3 of them, and you have to do them under real exam conditions. Timed, no distractions. It's not just about practice, it's about building your mental stamina and finding out what you're not so great at, while you still have time to fix it. All right, on game day, time is your biggest enemy. You've got 180 minutes, which breaks down to just 1.8 minutes for every single mark. You cannot afford to get stuck. So you walk in with a plan, a rigid plan. Something like this: 40 minutes for section A, 40 for B, a solid hour and a half for the big one, section C. And this is so important. You save 10 minutes at the end for final once-over. Stick to the clock. Now for the last 24 hours. And my advice here might sound a little weird. Stop learning. Seriously, this is not the time to try and cram a whole new accounting standard. The game now is about confidence. Just skim through your notes, glance over your formulas, focus on reminding yourself of what you already know. Then, and I can't stress this enough, get a good night's sleep. A tired brain is your worst enemy in that exam hall. Okay, you're in the hall, the clock has started. What do? Stick to the plan. Go through the paper in order: A, then B, then C. For those multiple choice questions, never ever leave one blank. There's no penalty for guessing, so take a shot. When you hit section C, show every single step of your calculations. You get marks for your method, even if the final number's off. And finally, if you hit a wall, just move on. Seriously, don't waste time. You can always come back later. And one last pro tip. This is a bit of a secret weapon, actually. Read the examiner's reports. I mean it. They are an absolute goldmine. The examiner literally tells you, here are all the dumb mistakes everyone else made. It's like getting a free guide on what not to do. It really drives home that they want to see you apply the concepts, not just spit back formulas you've memorized.
So there it is, the exam breakdown, a smart way to study and a game plan for the day itself. You literally have the blueprint now to go out and conquer this thing. The only real question left is, are you ready to get building?